Episode 3 of Pluribus. Let's get it. Are we in Antarctica? I thought it was fabric at first, but I think we're in Antarctica. I saw something purple glowing underneath the ice. I just saw that. I'm not doing the math. It's multiple years before the hive mind took over. Oh, the purple thing was because they're in some sort of an exhibit or wherever, retreat. Good to see Helen back, though. Why are they here? This is like torture. Average Nordic bedroom.
Top 20, yeah. But like closer to 11 or closer to 20?
I don't know what it is. The dialogue in this show feels so normal. There's nothing I hate more than when you're reading a book or you're watching a show or a movie and the dialogue just feels so like, dude, did the writers ever have a human conversation? Why are they talking like that? But the way Rhea talks and emotes and moves around as Carol, it's just so relaxing and chill to watch. I don't know how else to describe it though.
You're impossible.
Purple. I just read the excerpt from Carol's in-world book that Apple released on Apple Books and another video right before making this. I haven't even edited or uploaded that video yet, but in the excerpt, I just pulled it up here, we do see Carol saying, "But if you are a true purple, a Wicarian through and through, then hopefully you've already bought the copy of the book and reading this front to like blah, blah, blah. The way Aurora intended." Like I said in that video, this author's note makes it kind of clear that the excerpt, chapter 16, the Isle of Sinantes, has some spoilers and some foreshadowing and some coded and hidden messages regarding the storyline of Pluribus. So we start off episode 3. In this icy retreat, Helen and Carol are looking at an aurora. The god in Carol's Carol romantasy books is called Aurora. And her fans, or Wicarians, are called True Purple. So it's clear to me that Carol put this experience that she's having with Helen into her Winds of Wicario book here. This memory must have been emotionally significant for Carol, even if she's not the type of person who really shows that outwardly. Yeah, it does seem like it was trying to communicate that that was a very important memory for Carol. That makes sense why they would release that excerpt right before this episode came out. This is fun. I feel like I'm a detective. Very good way to show and not tell. Repeatedly throughout episode 2, we saw that big sequence at the beginning where none of the hive mind needed to communicate with one another because they're all a hive mind. They all share the same consciousness. There's no need for language. And now we're seeing how that mechanic works when they are in the presence of a non-hive-minded individual like Carol. Carol asks Zosha a question, and every other member of the hive mind heard it. Or at the very least, Zosha transmitted that question to them telepathically without needing to speak. That's going to be very difficult. That's a very difficult mechanic to outsmart if you ever need to speak secretly with one of, I don't know, the other survivors, or if a particular hive mind member is wanting to defect. I don't even know how that would work, but If they were, it would probably be impossible. That's very claustrophobic and scary. I don't know how Carol is going to pull this rescue of humanity off. Dude, I know I just got done from your perspective talking about show and not tell, but like it just it feels so good when the show leans into what things would really be like. If there's a random selection of people who are immune to the pluribus, the chances that you're going to get people who seem useful to you and have skills useful to you is extremely low. You have an 8-year-old girl in Lesotho. You have an 89-year-old fisherman. You have a call to prayer singer. And then you have the other individuals that we saw in episode 2. In another TV show, it's very simple, but in another TV show, they would have, you know, miraculously had a scientist, a doctor, an engineer, a conspiracy theorist, all putting their minds together. But in this show, you see, they have regular people.
Get him back. Get him back.
Zosha seems really hesitant right now. I think she's worried that Carol's emotions are rising and that they're all going to tweak, as I like to say, start having a seizure, whatever you want to call it. And the pilots are going to seizure out too. So, Carol, please control your emotions. Please, for just when you're being transported, please control your emotions.
Chinga tu madre, cabrón!
Alprazolam. That is Xanax. She on that Xanax. I would eat it. I would. Why is Carol afraid of a succulent meal? Morning, Dove. I love this track. Sounds very good. I just realized something. Earlier in the episode, Carol was watching Golden Girls, and the camera was zoomed in on the TV screen, and I think it was Betty White said, "A smile or a frown is just a smile turned upside down." In the excerpt from Blood Song of Waikaro, we see that Lucasia, the main character of Carol's book, is sick with a sickness, and her crew on her ship is also sick with the same sickness. However, some of the crew seems to be more sick than others, and for the ones that are most sick, the excerpt says something along the lines of, they dream of, hold on, let me just pull it up. Yeah, the exact quote here is, when Lucasia, the main character of Carol's book, is speaking to a mystical healer, Carol says, "You don't understand. I need your help. A curse has befallen my ship. My crew lies paralyzed in their hammocks. They are haunted by visions of death and destruction. We cannot venture into the light of the twin moons, lest our skin burn and boil. It is driving my men mad. We have already lost 4 lives." Now, I just remembered, like I said, at the beginning of the episode, we see Betty White talking about a frown is just a smile turned upside down. And when I was reading this excerpt in the other video, I was pondering on what this could mean for the story of Pluribus. What is this a metaphor for? How does this give us a little spoiler or foreshadowing? And I said, perhaps the members of the hive mind are trapped within their bodies. The original consciousness that has free will is trapped in their body, and they're experiencing some sort of torture. And that the happiness that they're displaying on their facial features is nothing more than an illusion, something being forced upon them by this virus. Now we see in episode 3, if I put that back up. Let's take a little listen to this again. We hear
For the opening of Stonehenge land. And they said they could stop it if they could sacrifice the town's dumbest virgin.
I don't think these quotes on the TV are for nothing. I think they mean something. I can't make anything out of that quote, sacrificing the dumbest virgin for this curse or whatever. But it just made me remember that quote from the book. A frown is just a smile turned upside down. Perhaps the people within the Pluribus are actually suffering, but their facial features are only capable of displaying happiness.
Shoopy shoop shoop.
Oh my God, don't bring up the hotel made of ice, dude. She told you to stop stealing Helen's memories. At least pretend. At least pretend. Carol, they are trying. Oh my God, this manipulation is crazy. They know which memories Carol loves the most. They're appealing to her with those memories. Carol, don't give in. You're not going to be able to be with Helen. She's gone. She's gone. Oh boy, bro. Chill. Everybody chill. Everybody chill, Carol. Chill. Throw the grenade. Press the left bumper button to throw the grenade back, please. Bro. Carol, oh my God, this is so scary. There's nothing stopping any of the immune people from causing infinite amounts of death and destruction, dude. You can just request any weapon you want and use it.
You gave me.
Bro, look at the camera. The camera work is crazy. Oh no. Carol, call the phone line for every doctor on the earth. Oh, she did it herself. Yeah. They would give you another hand grenade. The Pluribus will endlessly feed into whatever desires you have and the worst instincts of humanity. That is terribly terrifying. And that was it for episode 3 of Pluribus. Seems like the purpose of this episode was to show us that this hive mind will feed into the desires of the immune, even to their own detriment. So if Carol wanted an atom bomb or a hydrogen bomb, she could get that and blow up an entire continent full of other hive-minded individuals if she's so pleased. That's a very important thing to keep in the back of your mind as we continue through this season, probably entering conflict with the other hive-minded individuals. Like I said at the beginning, there was the excerpt from Carol's book was released by Apple TV. Pay attention to my channel for the upload of the video where I read through it all and go over some discussion and talk about how that could relate to Pluribus and the potential ending. I think that excerpt does reveal the ending of Pluribus to us. So head over there if you're one of the individuals who thinks it's fun to look at those sort of extracurricular, outside of the television show materials that the creators are giving us. So let me know what you guys think about this episode. Grenade. I'm very fascinated with Zosha and what role she's going to play here in the story.